Welcome to the Real Film Nerds Podcast.
Well, hello there, listeners, and welcome to Real Film Nerds, episode number 299. Mike, can you believe it? We're almost there. We're almost to 300.
Man, that's crazy. 300. What have we done with our lives?
Obviously, way too much recording. I mean, sit down and just do the math. It's ridiculous. And that's not even counting the episodes that are longer than a half hour, which most of them are now. But anyways, I digress. Mike, today it's your pick. We picked a film. It's a remake of a remake based on a book. Not remake, original based on a book. There we go. All Quiet on the Western Front. It is a Netflix original, but can it really be considered a Netflix original when it's classic literature about World War I?
I don't know, man. I think it can be, but I think in some ways this is reintroducing World War I to a younger audience. And Matt, can you believe it's been over 100 years since World War I?
It's hard to believe. Yeah, I was actually discussing it with one of my friends today on my drive back from the radio station. And he's like, no, there must be some people living from World War I. And I'm like, no, because even if you went into World War I at like the youngest age, like say you were 17 or 15, at this point in time, you would be probably close to 135. And not a whole lot of people make it that long.
Yeah, man. It's yeah. I doubt anyone would be alive. I think we're just about to have all of our World War II veterans pass away. It's very close. There's not a lot left.
Yeah, they are passing en masse. I know my grandfather who fought in World War II, or flew in World War II, shall I say. I mean, he fought too, just not on the ground. He passed away several years ago at the age of 85, and that was 2004, 5, 6, somewhere in there. I don't remember exactly. I tend to black out dates on traumatic event kind of stuff like that. I loved my grandpa dearly. But anyways, we're not here to talk about World War II. We're here to talk about World War I, the movie All Quiet on the Western Front. Mike, this was a great pick. Let's go ahead. Why don't you give us the rundown as best as you can? Because it's, for those of you who do not know yet, we haven't got into it too much. All Quiet on the Western Front. This version is a German film, and it's all German actors for the most part. And so it's very German names. Ready, Mike? You can do it.
All right. Thanks, Matt, for the precursor, because I'm already apologizing also in advance. But this is directed by Edward Berger. This was written by Edward Berger, Leslie Patterson, Ian Stockel, and Eric Maria Remarque is the original writer of the book All Quiet on the Western Front, which I read in high school. And Matt did not, but I
read it in high school.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, this is one I read in high school. The one I didn't read in high school, we talked about it last week, was Catcher in the Rye.
Ah, that's
you
the
read
one.
Catcher in the Rye. I read the other one, Animal Farm.
Okay, yep, all right. This movie is starring Felix Kammerer, Albrecht Schul, Eden Hasenvik, and Daniel Bruhl. And this movie's about a young German soldier's terrifying experiences and distress on the Western Front during World War I.
Okay, Mike, so I'm sure we're going to talk about the film, the book, the other films, because we talked about it a little bit last week. I watched one of the films in high school after we read the book. I think it was the 79 version. I don't remember. It's been over 20 years. It was one of them. I don't think it was the 1930s version. Anyways, for those of you who do not know, All Quiet on the Western Front was written in 1929. It came out in January. It was such a big hit. Within a year, they had a film of it in 1930. just absolutely incredible that they cranked it out that fast. That's how good of a novel this is. That's why we're still reading it today, 100 years later in schools. It is propaganda. It is not a true story. It is based on the author's real life experiences in World War One, being a German soldier and being on the Western Front. But it is not like based. It's not like an autobiography or a biography. Like, it's snippets of his life. It's not, this person is not real. Like, the main character is not real. There are characters in the film that are real, like played by Daniel Bruhl. His name is Matthias Erzberger. He's a real person. He really did sign the treaty and everything that happened between Germany and France and the Allies. And anyways, we'll keep going. Mike, first impressions, this film, what do you think?
Man, I really, really liked it. I thought it was very well done.
I said it on the radio, and I stand by it. I think this is probably one of the best war movies ever made since Saving Private Ryan.
Wow, man. Wow.
There's a lot of really, really great war movies that have been made in that stretch, but nothing has impacted me as hard as Saving Private Ryan as this film has. I mean, it's just through and through, gut-wrenching. I mean, it's propaganda. It's, anti-war propaganda. And I don't know if there's ever been a World War I film this realistic, ever.
It was very, very good. I don't know, man. Like, it was intense from the beginning. There's these little cutscenes in it that I really liked of trees. I don't know that I saw in the movie, but it just has this intensity to it, and it just keeps going. I watched this movie, Matt, like we talked about last week. I did watch the movie in German and subtitles English. How did you end up watching this?
Mike, I did the exact same thing. It was 2 hours and I think 45 minutes of reading, but I think listening to it in its native tongue, native language, is a lot more meaningful than having it dubbed, because the dubbing probably would have driven me nuts. I'm sure it's pretty good, especially to today's standards, but when it doesn't match up, it just kind of drives me nuts. Ma Hinshaw cannot read subtitles, so she listened to it dubbed. She didn't have any complaints. She enjoyed the film very, very much as well.
No, it was, I don't know, it was extremely realistic, Matt. On a story wise, I think the depth to this story is just amazing. Trying to think of something recent and kind of crazy. We actually have a recent World War I movie that we watched, 1917. But I feel like this was more all-inclusive story. I don't know. I feel like you got more out of this movie for the characters. And 1917 was awesome as well, but I don't know. I just feel like the development of our characters was better.
I really, really enjoyed 1917. It's a very, very, very well done film, but I think calling it 1917 is probably not the best title for that film, because it takes place on one specific thing that happens, in multiple different angles. All Quiet on the Western Front, I think, would be more appropriate named after a year, because it spans a much longer time period. The 1917 is not. It's more based on the British as a whole at one area trying to get off the beach in France, where this is not. Oh,
Yeah.
hold on. I'm getting it mixed up with a different movie. Sorry.
Oh, are you getting it mixed up with the World War II movie?
Yes, I'm getting it mixed up with a World War II movie. Gosh dang it.
Oh man.
Too
Matt
many
needs
war
some
movies.
sleep. Matt needs some sleep.
I need some sleep. I do. I did not sleep. I think I slept 4 or 5 hours last night. So, but yes, no, 1917 was a very good movie. That one I think is more of almost like a buddy film in a lot of ways. It does span a little bit longer, but you only really get trench warfare in that movie at like the very end. This, you get trench warfare from the beginning to the end, and that's really kind of what World War One was. I mean, I like the addition of the airplanes in 1917. That was really cool. But if I had to pick between either one, dude, I think All Quiet on the Western Front is a much better film all around.
Yeah, I think it does span more time. Like there's some time there with the different soldiers and some of the bonding stuff that goes on, and then trench warfare. Oh, this is really got it. I mean, as the movie states in the end, the Western Front moved inches. It was during the whole time of the war, it only changed by meters. It was pretty crazy, and I feel like they really captured it in this, and it's devastating, and it was I don't know, this movie was shot really well with the different I don't know, like the different angles and just the use of like the environment of mud and different things. I don't know, man. I really felt the intensity of when they're either getting attacked in the trench or running into the, like, I don't know, charging. Like it was intense, man. This is a very intense movie.
Man, I still feel like an idiot getting it mixed up with that Christopher Nolan film. Ugh. Yeah, no, 1917 was really good. I don't think it's too below All Quiet on the Western Front, in case I'm making it sound like it's nowhere near as good. They're both very good films. They're both very highly rated films. I'll just put it that way. I knew right off the bat the cinematography in this film was something special. Our opening scene, Mike, if you remember, it's a battle, it's trench warfare. You start out really high altitude, seeing this giant battlefield, and it just brings you down and brings you down into the trench as you follow the first guy up and out of the trench, and you start meeting the characters. I mean, it shows you how huge it is down to personalize, like right in the first shot of the film. And right there I knew, this cinematographer and director, they did it right. This is something special, and it didn't disappoint. The lighting from then on, the choice of angles, the choice of lenses. I mean, the cinematography is just, it's amazing. It really is very, very good on this.
Yeah, man. I'll save this for the spoilers, but I only have one complaint. So
Okay.
I'll save it for the spoilers.
We'll wait. I have one complaint as well, but it's not a big deal. I don't know. We'll see. We'll compare.
All right, Matt. Well, to get to that, why don't I ask you, Matt, what are you drinking this fine evening, morning, afternoon?
Well, Mike, I still have a few of these left in my fridge. It's the Four Peaks Suns Brew, because it is basketball season, and so I'm drinking a Suns beer from my favorite brewery, Four Peaks.
All right, man. Well, I am drinking a little something from Lagunitas. It's a IPA. I'm back, Matt.
Out of pumpkin beers. Mark the date. He didn't even get it all the way to Thanksgiving. He got it to the eve of Thanksgiving, but no Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I got it close to Thanksgiving.
Well, Mike, do you want me to go and find you a pumpkin beer and mail it to you?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. All right. I'm on it. Speaking of that, we did announce our winners for the Top Gun Maverick Blu-ray giveaway. So for those of you who entered and did not get an email, sorry. Wah, wah. But those of you who won, you won. You've communicated with me. Congratulations. They're going to be put in the mail here soon, hopefully. Okay, Mike, let's move on. to your favorite section.
Okay, let's do it.
What is this week's dad joke?
I got dad jokes, I don't think they understand though. Gotta think I'm funny, other people never laugh though. Dad jokes.
All right, Matt, how do trees get on the internet?
They get printed out?
They log on.
He said log.
That one wasn't too bad.
Nah, it was lame. It was lame, but it's okay. We'll let it slide. I see, now I'm speaking as there's two of me. I mean, I'm the size of two people, so I guess that counts. All right, Mike. This is an easy one. He's in the trailer. He's in the film. Real easy. But, Mike, how does All Quiet on the Western Front 2022 relate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
All right, Matt. I was a little worried about this movie, being that it's an all-German movie and everything. But, quickly my fears were subdued when I saw Daniel Bruhl in this. And Daniel Bruhl was in Captain America Civil War as Zemo. And he was also in The Falcon the Winter Soldier. So he's a Marvel Cinematic Universe character. So
He is a villain known as Baron von Zemo.
Yes, Baron von Zemo.
But it's okay, Mike. And he's supposed to be a big deal. He finally put on his hood in the Captain America and Winter Soldier TV show, which was exciting. That was awesome.
Yeah. No, I don't know if that was awesome or not, but yes, I mean, I like the show.
Well, but that's what Baron Zemo does. You hardly ever see his face. He always has on his purple hood.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's
then,
okay.
Great.
You're
Great,
not a
great,
super
good.
nerd, Mike. You're just a nerd,
Yeah.
not a
Yeah,
super
yeah,
nerd. I understand.
Good.
I'll let it slide. Okay, so we're in the spoiler section. I don't know how you spoil a book that's over 100 years old. We'll start out with complaints. I'll just go ahead and start out like right off the bat. I only have one thing, and it's not a big deal. It's very accurate to the book, but not completely. At the very end in the book, our main character, huge spoiler. Our main character passes in the book about 30 days before the end of the war. In the movie, he passes about 3 minutes before the end of the war. Now, the director and everyone says that they did that for dramatic effect because it's a film, and it works. But that's one of several examples where the writing differs. But again, they're adapting a so many hundreds page book into a 2 hour and 45 minute long movie. So 45 or is it 35?
I think it was 45, yeah.
No, it's 2 hours and 28 minutes. I was wrong.
Oh, 2 hours, 28. All right.
Yeah. Anyways, over 2 hour long film. 2 hours and 28 minutes. Okay, Mike, what's your complaint? Ready, set, Mike.
All right, Matt. So my complaint is, I don't know. I don't think it's a strange one, but like, I wanted to see this in the theater.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh,
I
for
think
sure.
it would have been. So this movie is extremely impactful and awesome. And I watched it in the best quality I could, but I think it would have been better in the theater.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I would have wanted to see this in the theater all day long. And it was released in the theater, but extremely limited release, which you know what that means. They released it in New York and LA for like a week just so they could get it Oscar nominated.
Yeah, that's what they do. The New York and LA thing for the Oscars.
Yeah, I wish I could see it. You know, they might have it down in Phoenix, but this would be an incredible film to see in the theater. And honestly, if I saw it in the theater, it probably would adjust my rating. I'm just putting it out there.
Well. Another thing is, now it has been a long, long time since I read the book, but I feel like there was a little bit more with the gas stuff, and they kind of glanced over some of that stuff in this. I mean, but that's okay.
I think that might have been a directorial decision as well. I know they did film quite a few scenes with the gas stuff because I watched a behind the scenes featurette that was on the old YouTubes, and it had when they talk and they're interviewing them and then they're showing cutscenes and stuff, they had them doing other scenes with gas, but you don't see them in the film. So I think it was maybe a directorial choice, or maybe they couldn't convey the gas well enough visually. I don't know. But yeah, that's another thing from the book. There was a hell of a lot more gas situations, and that's one of the reasons why gas is very, very outlawed in the entire world, is because how horrible it is and how easy it is to wipe out thousands, if not millions of people with the blink of an eye with gas. It's horrible stuff. And it all stems from this war.
Yeah, no, the nerve gas, the mustard gas that they used during World War I was so awful that we came up with rules that say you can't use it in war, which is crazy, kind of, when you think about it, because war is, yeah, I don't know, man, it's just weird. But they did it, and I think of recent history, only Syria has been accused of and probably has used gas on people.
They accused people in Iraq, and I think they showed some proof. And then they claim Russia, but I don't think there's been any proof of Russia. I know Russia keeps saying they're going to do it now, but yeah, so that's one thing that resulted from World War I was the Geneva Conventions.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because how do you put rules on war? But they did, and it's war. I mean, it's horrible. You're killing people in the name of a country,
It's weird, man. It seems like an odd thing to be like, well, you can do this, but not that.
Right. Like rounds, you're using your guns. You're supposed to use specific types of rounds that you fire at the enemy so that they have a better chance of having the wound healed. Like, you're not supposed to use
like hollow
points
things.
Yeah. You're supposed to use just normal rounds so they go, through and through. You're still shooting a gun at someone, God damn it, with the intention of killing them,
Yeah. I mean, I guess, Matt, since we're in the spoiler scenes, one scene that was very impactful for me was the kind of montage of taking the bodies, taking their uniforms, and then sewing the holes, and then putting it back together, and then reissuing it.
Yeah, that was horrible. And I can explain a lot of that. I am a student of history. I've loved history my whole life. I've read a few books on World War I, not a ton. I mostly studied World War II and Vietnam. But I've listened to quite a bit of stuff and studied a bunch of stuff on World War I. So as the war kept progressing, Germany is very landlocked in a lot of ways. They have some access to the ocean, but it's mostly landlocked. And so they were running out of supplies in general across the board. And this film conveys that right from the start. They didn't have uniforms. They didn't have enough uniforms. And they literally were taking them off of dead bodies, cleaning them up, and throwing them back on soldiers and sending them out there. The food situation was very, very true like that too. I don't know if the French really had that much food, but the French and the other side, was it the Triple Entente or the Triple? I don't remember. I get the two mixed up. Anyways, they had plenty of food and plenty of supplies. Like, their soldiers weren't starving. They were doing great, but they weren't starving. Literally, the German army was starving to death because they couldn't get supplies, especially towards the end of the war. And they convey that very well. There's that one scene where they're in the trenches and they get into the French trench and there's just food everywhere and they just go to town.
They did, and I even applaud the actors, because in the beginning the actors are more I guess well fed, and then as the movie progresses, it definitely looks like our main stars are losing weight, and I don't know, some of it I think could be makeup, but it did seem like they got thinner.
The actors were very dedicated in the behind the scenes I was watching. They wanted to make sure and represent their, ancestors well and right and correctly. It's fascinating because the main character spent 6 months training and studying World War II. He would go on a 10-kilometer run every day with like 30-pound pack on him to get used to the weight. So when he was running and doing all that stuff, it looked natural. Like, that's how dedicated these actors were to making this film right.
Wow, that's great. I mean, it came off like I felt like these guys were soldiers.
The one guy, he's half blind. One of his eyes is completely gone, and the other one, it works fine. He had a contact that he had to put in that would cover up his eye, make it look white like that. And he said when he would put that in, it was like he was blind because he could not see out of his, I think it was his left eye. And so he's like, people would have to help me, especially if we were shooting at night, so that I didn't fall and like break something because I literally couldn't see. Like, that's how dedicated these guys were. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing.
Wow. Yeah. No, it was I don't know, man. This was an awesome movie. I didn't know how good it was going to be or how good it wasn't going to be, but man, I think this movie was really, really well done, and I hope the people that made this movie get some recognition. I don't know if they will or not, but this is awesome.
They haven't announced the Academy Awards official nominations yet, but I know for a fact that Germany as a country has submitted this film as their representation in the international award for the Academy Awards. This is Germany's film.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it was really interesting. And then the German general, it was kind of crazy when he was just like, I'm just gonna, I do war, so we're gonna go back out there and we're gonna try and take him out until it's over.
And that's one of the points that's from the book as well about the propaganda. Here's this general that he doesn't give a shit that he's sending thousands of lives to their death that literally are going to be wasted because they've already signed off that they have given up. And they're dying for literally no reason whatsoever, including our main character.
Yeah. No, it was just, wow.
And that's one thing that's interesting, too, about World War I. One of the most hotly debated, unanswered questions, or, I mean, people answer it in many different ways, is the true start of World War I, like what caused it. And there's about 4 or 5 things that are the main root causes. And it's interesting that it ever even happened. And I was talking about it with my mom, actually, because my mom is a big history buff as well. If World War I never would have happened, we obviously never would have had World War II, but Hitler never would have come to power and never would have been who he was. The whole reason why Hitler ever went as far as he did was because of the results of World War I. I mean, the German people were starving and were barely existing as a country after this war.
Yeah, they were decimated, and he was, when he started to become to power, he helped them prosper and whatever, and yeah, no, definitely interesting.
Yeah,
for sure.
He literally saw a lot of the general German populace saw him as a savior because their economy grew. They were building machines. They were building their army. They were rebuilding buildings better than they ever were. They had food. I mean, he did the right thing to gain power, as horrible as that sounds.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. The thing that I had forgotten until I watched this movie, and it's just probably just because it's been a long time, was the amount of people that died in this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, it's crazy. And even more people died in World War II.
That's just crazy, dude.
But it still floors me when you look at the population of Earth. and how much our population has continued to grow despite these really just insanely gruesome wars.
I guess that's true, but I think we just hit some milestone. 8 billion people or
Yep.
something? I don't know.
8 billion people, the most people that have ever existed, obviously. Anyways, all right, Mike. We'll get back on topic.
I digress.
I don't want to take you off of it, but okay. So, what else do you want to add before we start talking about what we're doing next week?
I want to encourage the listeners to watch this movie, although it is, nothing happy about this movie, but it's such a piece of history that I feel like a lot of people have forgotten about. It is a very valid and just kind of crazy story to watch, and I don't know. I want everybody to watch this movie. Who can stomach it? Yeah, who can stomach it? It's brutal. It is very brutal.
Yeah, this is a must-watch film. It is not easy to watch. It is gruesome. It is graphic. It is violent. It is gut-wrenching. It's sad. It's depressing. And that's the point. That was the point of the novel. That was the point of the films. That is the point of this, is that it's supposed to be so horrible that people don't want to go to war anymore. And obviously it hasn't worked.
Yeah. Yep.
We've had a lot of wars since 1930 and 1929.
We have.
But yes, if you can do it, I don't recommend kids watch it. Hell no. But if you can do it, I recommend everyone check this film out. Definitely. It is absolutely just amazing. So, all right, Mike. So next week, episode number 300. You were the one that came up with the idea, so I'll let you talk about it.
All right, Matt. So for 300, we're going to watch the movie 300.
Woo!
Yeah. Whoa. We are deep thinkers here. We really ponder things, and we felt that no one would have saw this coming. So we were just like, bam, gotcha.
Well, Lisa, the radio host that I work with on Mondays, is very disappointed because there are a lot of Christmas movies that came out this week that she really wanted to hear about, specifically one on Apple TV Plus that I'm 50-50 on. I don't know if I'll ever watch it because it's a freaking musical, but it does star some of my favorite people ever. So we might have to get to that one in the future. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff coming out just because tis the season. It seems like we have summer movie season and we have Christmas break movie season, and it starts Thanksgiving weekend. And so here they come. We're starting to get a few in the theaters. I'm excited. But 300, we got to do it, Mike, and we're doing a giveaway. You're going to have to listen to episode 300 to find out what it is and how to enter. But it's a good one. I think it's a good one. Mike, you think it's a good one?
Dude, I think it's a wonderful one, man. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing it, Matt.
Yeah, I'll put it this way. There's only one, because Mike and I are taking money out of our pockets to buy this for you and send it to whoever our lucky winner is. So make sure and enter. It's going to be completely random. We're going to use a random number generator like we always do. Whoever wins, wins. All right? So next week, 300. Mike, All Quiet on the Western Front. How perfect did you rate this film?
Man, I'm gonna give it 4.5 stars.
Stars?
Reels.
Whoa!
Sorry.
Okay, Mike, I give it 4.5 as well. Just because of the handful of inaccuracies with the writing. Would have liked to see some more of the gas, as you were talking about, and also, just the other things that could have been tweaked, and I wanted to see it in the theater. I think if I had seen it in the theater, it'd be a 5. Like, no doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, I think if I saw it in the theater, it'd be a 5 too. Man, it's so great. It's so great.
Yeah, it is. It is. If I see, over this Thanksgiving break, which I don't really take, it anywhere, when I'm down visiting my sister down in Phoenix for Thanksgiving, I think I'm going to try and go see this in the theaters if they have it.
Yeah, man. It would be amazing. It is amazing.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, kiddos, I think that's it. I'm going to let Mike do his thing before he falls asleep on his keyboard because we're recording really late compared to when we usually do. So, Mike, ready, set, Mike.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Make sure to follow us on Metaverse, sometimes known as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and, go out there, watch a movie, stream a movie. Go to the theater if you can. Maybe during your Thanksgiving break, when you've had enough of your family, go watch a movie. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody, and catch you on the next pod. Episode 300, reviewing the movie 300.
Thank you for listening to The Real Film Nerds. Now, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Real Film Nerds. Now, go out and catch a movie.
You okay? Can you breathe now? Are you all right? You're going to make it.
I think so.
You're sure?
I think so.
Okay.
If not, you take over.
Oh, I can't handle that kind of pressure.
Matt Hinshaw in studio with me this morning on Magic 99.1 to talk about the new old movie, All Quiet on the Western Front. That makes sense, right?
Sure. Yeah. Now that you have explained it to me, it makes a lot
Several
more
times.
sense. Yep.
I had to explain it several times. It's kind of like a remake. I mean, it's an old book. It was made into a movie, and now there's a new movie about it.
Yes.
With new actors. Same storyline, though, I'm assuming.
No, altered.
Altered
From the book as well.
Can they do that and not change the title?
Yeah, they're not massive. I mean, one of them's kind of big, but they're not like extreme. Like the story is still basically the same.
Okay.
But it's more of a timeline thing. Like it's not like they eliminated the main character or something like that. They just adjusted their timeline to make it more dramatic for the film.
Oh, good. So they didn't stick a superhero in there or anything like that.
No, Superman does not come in and stop World War I.
Okay.
Nope.
Good. Thank God. Okay. So what did you think of the movie? Did you see the first one?
Yes, but it's been over 20 years.
Yeah.
I watched it in school.
I did too. Okay.
So yes, it was very good.
Yes, it was very good. The new one was
Much better. Granted, it's been quite a long time.
right.
Technology has come dramatically. The goal of making it as realistic as possible is a lot easier now.
Sure.
And I think 90% of this film is practical effects, though. Still,
Really?
and it's good. It's
Yeah.
really good.
Okay.
Not for the faint of heart, though.
No bloody gory. I mean, the story, of course,
Yes.
is not
Well,
for the faint of heart.
Yeah, so All Quiet on the Western Front is intended to be an anti-war book, novelization, whatever. It's based on the author's real life experiences. It's not based on a true story, but his experiences because he was in World War I and he wrote the book literally like after he was out.
Okay.
And I don't want to say it's propaganda, but it's trying to show you how bad it really, really, really is and why we should never have had war, especially a world war.
Okay.
And he failed miserably.
Yeah. Did he?
Well, we had World War II, didn't we?
Well, yes, we did. We did
But luckily, we haven't had trench warfare since, so that's good.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess. Right.
But yeah, it's gruesome. It's horrifying. It's tough to watch, and that's all on purpose.
Okay. Very good. How many reels out of 5 are you giving it?
I loved it. I haven't seen a war movie this good since I want to say probably Saving Private Ryan.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's 4.5.
4.5 reels. Very good. Let's put in a call to your ma and see what she thinks.
Alrighty, let's do it.
Coming up on the other side on Magic 99.1.
Hi, Lisa.
Good morning, Ma Hinshaw on Magic 99.1. How are you?
Woohoo! Oh, I'm fine. I'm great. I'm good. There.
Okay, good. Well, your son Matt is here with me. Say hi to your mother, Matt.
Hello, Mommy.
Hi, dear.
Okay, so we're talking about All Quiet on the Western Front. What did you think?
I've read the book way long ago, and I've seen the old movie,
Right.
really old movie.
Right.
And I thought this was really fabulous. I thought they did a tremendous job.
Okay.
Really wonderful. I would recommend it to anyone because it really depicts what it was like to fight that war. And my grandfather fought in that war
Oh, wow.
in Romania in whatever, 1918. And actually, he died of his wounds
He did.
later on, yeah. But it really shows. It was so horrible. I don't know how those men dealt with it. It was very, very, very good.
Oh, wow. Okay. How many cookies you going to give it?
Ooh, I'll give it 5.
5 cookies. Matt gave it 4.5 reels. So you guys are on the same page. It looks like 93% of Google users liked the movie. So yeah, what a great recommendation. I think we should all watch it. Not only because it's a part of history, but it was well done.
Yeah. Maybe not on Thanksgiving with the family.
Okay, not with the fam.
But you know,
No.
I mean, my co-host picked it because we just had Veterans Day
Right.
/ Armistice Day, which a lot of people, if you don't know it, that was the end of World War I. So,
Right. Good reason to watch that movie.
yep.
Wonderful. Ma, thanks for checking in with us this morning.
On Magic 99.1.
Happy Thanksgiving, sweetie. Have a great day.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. So are you going to watch something a little lighter for next week?
Oh, heck no.
Come on.
So we have a special podcast for next week.
What?
So it is our 300th episode.
Holy smokes. 300 podcasts.
And we're doing a giveaway. We're paying for it for ourselves. It's not from a movie studio.
Okay.
We're giving away a box set of 3 movies.
Wow.
I'm not going to say what. You have to find out by listening to the pod.
Okay,
But,
guys.
Our review is going to be in honor of 300.
Oh, okay. Is it the movie 300?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, very good. I did see that movie.
You did see that
I
movie.
saw
All
that
right.
one.
We can talk about that
We
one.
can chat about that one. Yeah.
All right.
Very good. You guys check out the podcast. It's called The Real Film Nerds. You can get it wherever you catch your podcasts. Maddie, thanks for coming in.
No, thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.